Love is often imagined as grand gestures, poetic words, and dramatic confessions. We've been taught to look for roses, candlelit dinners, and the words "I love you" spoken out loud. But the truth is, not all love is loud. Not all love stands under the spotlight. In fact, the most genuine, lasting kind of love often reveals itself in silence. In the little things that are easy to miss, but impossible to fake. A man may not always say those 3 words directly, especially if he's someone who struggles with vulnerability or has been taught to hide emotion. But if you look closely, his love will still speak. It speaks through actions, through glances, through presence. It speaks in how he treats you when no one is watching, in how he reacts to your sadness, in how he remembers the smallest details you've long forgotten you ever shared. That's the kind of love that doesn't always announce itself, but you can feel it deeply. Many women miss these signs because they're waiting for something bigger, something louder. They think, if he really loved me, he'd say it, not realizing that he may be showing it every single day, just not in the way they expected. The quiet kind of love isn't less powerful. In fact, it's often more sincere. It's steady. It doesn't come and go with mood or circumstance. It's there in the moments that truly matter. Think about it. The man who shows up when you're sick, the one who stays on call when you're upset, who notices the change in your voice or your silence, who touches your shoulder gently when words fail. These are not random gestures. These are emotional footprints of love, silent, strong, and unmistakable. In this video, we're going to walk through 15 powerful yet silent ways a man tells you he loves you. These signs might be subtle, but once you learn to recognize them, you'll start to see love in a whole new way. Because real love doesn't always arrive with a bang. Sometimes it enters quietly, in the form of small actions, soft words, and meaningful presence. So whether you're in a new relationship, wondering if he's serious, or you've been together for years and just want to feel more secure, pay close attention. These signs aren't based on fantasy. They're rooted in real, everyday love. If he's doing even a few of these, chances are his heart is already speaking to you. You just have to listen between the lines. Let's begin. 1. He remembers the little things about you. When a man remembers the little things about you, it's often one of the strongest silent signs that he loves you. These aren't just surface-level details like your favorite color or the name of your pet. It's about how deeply he's paying attention to who you are. He notices the things you don't repeat twice, the way you like your coffee, how you get quiet when you're overwhelmed, the song that makes you emotional, or the fact that you once mentioned a childhood memory that still affects you. These things may seem small, but they are pieces of you, and he collects them like they matter, because to him, they do. Love isn't always about grand gestures or big words. Sometimes it's hidden in the quiet recognition of your habits, preferences, and stories. When he brings up something you said weeks ago, or surprises you with your favorite snack after a long day, it shows he listens not just to reply, but to understand. It means he holds those fragments of your personality close, because remembering them is his way of showing he cares. It's easy to recall birthdays or big events, but when a man notices the subtle details, things even you might forget, it reflects genuine emotional investment. These quiet acts of memory are love in its purest form. It's him saying you matter to me without ever needing to say a word. He wants to make you feel seen, understood, and valued, not through constant declarations, but through thoughtful moments that prove he's truly present with you. In a world full of distractions, the fact that he remembers the little things means his heart is focused on you. And that kind of love doesn't need to be loud to be real. 2. He makes time for you without being asked. When a man makes time for you without being asked, it's a powerful yet quiet way of showing he loves you. In a world where everyone is busy and time feels limited, Choosing to prioritize someone speaks volumes. He doesn't wait for you to remind him or beg for his attention. He shows up, calls, visits, or checks in simply because he wants to, not out of obligation, but out of a genuine desire to be present in your life. This kind of effort doesn't always come with grand announcements. You'll see it in the way he rearranges his schedule just to see you for a few minutes, or how he remembers your important days and clears time to make them special. Even if he's tired, overwhelmed, or busy, he'll find a way to be there. Maybe not always physically, but emotionally and mentally, he's present. That kind of consistency and intention shows that your presence in his life matters more than his daily distractions. You'll notice it in the small things: a text in the middle of a hectic day, a surprise call when he's swamped, or showing up when it counts the most. These aren't random gestures. They are silent expressions of love. He doesn't need to be told you need him. He senses it and responds naturally because caring for you has become a part of his rhythm. Making time without being asked is love in action. It's selfless, thoughtful, and sincere. It says, "You're important to me," louder than words ever could. A man who values your time and makes space for you in his life, without reminders, is showing you that love doesn't always have to be spoken. Sometimes it's simply shown by showing up. 3. He listens closely when you speak. When a man listens closely when you speak, it's one of the most meaningful silent ways he shows love. He's not just hearing the words coming out of your mouth. He's absorbing them, remembering them, and connecting to them. In a world full of distractions, giving someone your full attention is rare. And when he does that for you, it means you truly matter to him. You'll notice it in the way his eyes stay on you when you're talking, how he doesn't interrupt or look at his phone. He doesn't just nod to seem polite. He responds with thought, with emotion, and with genuine interest. Whether you're talking about something big, like your dreams, or something small like how your day went, he treats every word with importance. And later, when he brings up something you said, even casually, it proves he was truly listening. Real listening goes beyond silence. It's in the way he reacts to your feelings, how he picks up on the things you don't say directly, and how he remembers details you may have already forgotten. It's in the quiet support, the advice you didn't ask for but needed, and the comfort he gives just by understanding what you meant beneath your words. This kind of deep attention isn't just a habit, it's a choice. A man who listens this way is telling you, without saying it, that your voice matters to him. He's showing you that your thoughts have weight, that your emotions have value, and that your presence deserves his respect. In love, it's not always the words we say, but the way we listen that tells the whole story. And when he listens closely, he's speaking love with silence. He looks at you like you're the only one in the room. When a man looks at you like you're the only one in the room, it's a silent but powerful expression of love. That look, steady, soft, and focused, says more than words ever could. It's the kind of gaze that makes the world fall away, where everything else becomes background and you are his center. It's not just about attraction, it's about admiration, presence, and emotional connection. You'll notice it in moments when no one else is paying attention. Maybe you're laughing, speaking, or even just sitting quietly, and he's watching you with a look that holds no distraction. He's not just looking at you, he's seeing you. There's a difference. That kind of gaze carries emotion, respect, and sometimes even vulnerability. It's the way his eyes soften when they meet yours, or the way he unconsciously smiles just watching you be yourself. It doesn't matter how many people are around, his focus stays on you. Whether in a crowded room or a quiet cafe, he makes you feel like you're the only one that matters. It's in these quiet stares that he reveals what he might not have the courage or words to say out loud. His eyes become his voice, silently whispering that you're special, cherished, and deeply seen. This kind of attention isn't performed or forced. It's genuine. You can't fake a look that real. When a man looks at you like you're the only one in the room, it's not just a moment of eye contact. It's a moment of love, connection, and emotion that cuts through the noise of the world, reminding you that you have a place in someone's heart, without him ever needing to say a thing. 5. He checks on you when you're quiet. When a man checks on you. When you're quiet, it shows a deep emotional awareness and care that words can't always express. He doesn't just notice your loudest moments, he's tuned into your silence. Most people pay attention when you speak, laugh, or cry. But someone who truly loves you will notice when you're unusually quiet, even if you're trying to hide it. That quiet concern, the way he gently asks if you're okay, or simply sits beside you without pressing, is love in its purest form. He senses the shift in your energy. Maybe your texts get shorter, your smile feels forced, or you've just withdrawn a little. He doesn't need you to explain. He notices, and that noticing comes from a place of deep connection. He won't always ask directly, but his presence will be there. Sometimes it's a simple, "Are you all right?" or "I'm here if you want to talk." Other times, it's just him showing up, giving you space, but also comfort, without expecting anything in return. This kind of care comes without drama. He's not checking on you to get answers. He's doing it because your silence speaks to him louder than words. It means he's emotionally invested, aware of your patterns, and genuinely concerned about your well-being. He doesn't wait for you to break down. He listens to the silence between your words and understands that sometimes love isn't about fixing things, but simply noticing and being there. When a man checks on you when you're quiet, he's proving that his love isn't just for your brightest days. It's also for your quiet, hidden moments. That's when love stops being romantic and becomes real, steady, and unshakable. 6. He includes you in his future plans. When a man includes you in his future plans, it's one of the clearest unspoken signs that he loves you. He doesn't just talk about tomorrow, he talks about months from now, years even, and you're always a part of that picture. Whether it's small things like planning a weekend trip or big ones like talking about where he wants to live or what kind of life he envisions, your presence in those conversations means everything. You'll notice he starts saying we instead of I. It might sound subtle, but it reflects a shift in how he sees the world. No longer as just his journey, but as something shared with you. He asks your opinion about things that will happen later, where to move, what kind of home to build, whether you'd want kids one day. These aren't just passing questions. They're pieces of a life he's slowly shaping with you in it. It also shows in the way he makes practical choices. He considers your goals, your needs, your dreams. Maybe he saves money with both of you in mind. Maybe he turns down a job in another city because he doesn't want to be far from you. These aren't declarations of love in the traditional sense, but they speak louder than any "I love you" ever could. When a man genuinely sees you in his future, he starts preparing for it. He builds his life in a way that makes space for you, emotionally, mentally, and sometimes even physically. It means he's not just in love with who you are now, but he's deeply invested in continuing the journey with you. Including you in his plans is his silent promise that he sees you as part of what's next, not just what's now. 7. He notices when something is wrong. When a man notices when something is wrong, even before you say a word, it's a quiet but powerful sign of love. He's tuned into you in a way that goes beyond surface level attention. He picks up on the little things, a shift in your tone, a pause in your messages, a look in your eyes that doesn't match your smile. You don't have to cry or complain for him to sense that something isn't right. He just knows. It's not about being overly dramatic or invasive. It's about being emotionally present. He cares enough to observe, to pay attention not just to what you say, but to what you don't say. Even if you try to hide your feelings, He'll feel the change in your energy, and instead of ignoring it or brushing it off, he gently asks, "Are you okay?" Or says, "You seem a little off today." Sometimes he doesn't even say anything. He just stays close, letting you know he's there if and when you want to talk. This kind of awareness comes from genuine love and deep emotional connection. He's not guessing. He's recognizing patterns in your behavior because he's been watching and learning you. He sees you fully, not just the happy version of you, but also the quiet, tired, or overwhelmed sides. And his ability to notice without needing explanation shows he's truly present in your life. Love isn't always loud or full of big gestures. Sometimes it's just someone quietly reading your silence and responding with patience and care. When a man notices something is wrong without being told, it means he's emotionally in tune with you, and that kind of silent understanding is one of the most intimate forms of love. 8. He protects you in subtle ways. When a man protects you in subtle ways, it reveals a deep, instinctive form of love, the kind that doesn't need to be loud or dramatic to be real. It's not always about stepping in like a hero in a crisis. Often it's in the quiet, thoughtful actions that go unnoticed by others, but speak volumes if you're paying attention. He walks on the side of the road closer to traffic. He slows down his pace to match yours. He holds your hand in crowded places, not just to be romantic, but to make sure you feel safe. He checks to see if you got home okay, reminds you to eat when you're too busy, and notices when something or someone makes you uncomfortable. And without making a big deal of it, he finds a way to change the situation, maybe by shifting the conversation, stepping closer, or simply being there with a calming presence. These small actions might seem ordinary, but they are deeply intentional. They come from a place of wanting to shield you from stress, harm, or discomfort. He doesn't do it to impress or gain recognition. He does it because your well-being matters to him more than his own convenience. He may never say, "I'm protecting you," but you'll feel it in how he anticipates your needs, how he steps in before you even ask for help, and how he always seems to know when to stand by you, literally and emotionally. It's not about control or dominance. It's about care, respect, and love wrapped in quiet strength. When a man loves you, protecting you becomes second nature, not through big speeches, but through little things that say, without words, "I've got you, always." 9. He mirrors your body language. When a man mirrors your body language, it's a subtle yet deeply instinctive way of showing emotional connection and affection. This kind of mirroring isn't usually conscious. It happens naturally when someone feels closely bonded with you. It means he's in tune with you, not just emotionally, but physically as well. It's his silent way of saying, "I'm with you. I feel what you feel." You might notice that when you lean in, he does too. If you cross your legs, he might do the same a moment later. If you're smiling, he smiles without even realizing. These are small, almost invisible reflections of your movements, but they reveal a strong psychological connection. It's his body responding to yours, showing that he's comfortable, attentive, and emotionally synced with you. Mirroring body language is one of the subconscious ways humans show empathy and trust. When a man mirrors you, it's because his focus is on you completely. He's not distracted, not holding back. He's fully present in the moment. It's a non-verbal dance, a quiet harmony between two people, and it usually happens only when genuine feelings are involved. This behavior creates a sense of safety and closeness. You feel more understood, more accepted, even without a word being spoken. It's his way of saying, "I'm connected to you," without having to express it out loud. In romantic connections, this subtle mirroring becomes a powerful reflection of emotional alignment. So when you catch him copying your movements, your posture, or even the rhythm of your breathing, don't dismiss it. That silent synchronicity is one of the body's most honest ways of showing love. 10. He smiles when he sees you happy. When a man smiles simply because he sees you happy, it's one of the most genuine, unspoken signs that he loves you. It's not about impressing you or reacting to something you've done for him. It's about his heart responding to your joy. Your happiness becomes his happiness, and he doesn't need a reason to feel it. He just feels it through you. It's the kind of smile that appears when you're laughing at something silly, dancing around without music, or talking excitedly about something you love. He watches you with warmth in his eyes, and without even realizing it, he smiles, not because he's amused, but because your joy lights something up inside him. That smile isn't just on his face, it's in his eyes, his energy, and his entire presence. He may not always say the words, but that expression is a quiet celebration of who you are. It means he sees your happiness as valuable, as something worth protecting and nurturing. Even if he's having a tough day, the moment he sees you light up, he can't help but feel lighter himself. That's love. Selfless, sincere, and beautifully quiet. This kind of reaction isn't learned or rehearsed. It's real, and it comes from someone whose feelings run deeper than surface attraction. When he smiles at your happiness, he's showing you that your well-being matters to him. It's his way of silently saying, "You bring me peace, you bring me joy." And in those moments, without a single word, you see the truth of how much he cares. 11. He shares things he doesn't tell others. When a man shares things with you that he doesn't tell others, it's a quiet but deeply meaningful way of showing love. He's letting you into a part of his world that he usually keeps guarded. Thoughts, memories, fears, or even dreams that he doesn't express openly. These aren't just casual conversations, they're windows into his inner life. And by opening them for you, he's revealing trust and emotional intimacy. You might notice that he talks to you about things he normally keeps to himself. Maybe a childhood experience, a personal struggle, a fear about the future, or something that made him feel vulnerable. These are the kinds of things he doesn't bring up in front of friends or family. With you, though, he feels safe. He knows you'll listen, not judge, and that you care enough to hold those pieces of him with respect. This level of openness is never forced. It happens gradually. As his feelings deepen, he starts to remove the emotional armor he wears with the rest of the world. He doesn't have to be perfect with you. He can just be real. And that kind of authenticity is a form of love that doesn't shout, but speaks clearly through trust. When a man lets you into the parts of himself he usually hides, it's his way of saying, "You matter. You're not just someone I enjoy being around. You're someone I feel safe with." It's love without a spotlight, expressed in soft truths and honest moments. And once he begins to share those hidden parts, you'll know his feelings run deep. Because we only reveal our truest selves to those we truly care about. 12. He sacrifices his comfort for yours. When a man sacrifices his comfort for yours, it's a powerful and silent way of showing just how much he loves you. He may not say it out loud, but his actions reveal it in the moments when he puts your needs, your happiness, or your peace before his own. These sacrifices aren't grand or dramatic. Often, they're simple choices made quietly, without expectation of recognition or reward. He might give up his time to be there for you when you're stressed, even if he's tired himself. He'll sit through something you care about, even if it doesn't interest him, just because it makes you smile. If you're cold, he'll offer you his jacket without thinking twice. If you're sad, he'll cancel plans just to sit with you and listen. If you're overwhelmed, he'll take on more so you can rest. These moments may look ordinary, but they are rooted in love, the kind that thinks beyond self. Real love often shows up in the form of quiet selflessness. It's in the way he lets go of comfort, ease, or even pride, simply to make sure you're okay. He doesn't complain or use it to guilt you later. He does it because your comfort matters to him more than his own. And that kind of selfless care is rare and deeply meaningful. When a man sacrifices his comfort for yours, it's his way of saying, "You come first to me." It's love in its purest, humblest form, not needing attention, just showing up through action. It proves he's not only present in good times, but also willing to carry the weight when you can't. And that silent strength is one of the most beautiful signs of true love. 12. He sacrifices his comfort for yours. When a man sacrifices his comfort for yours, it's a quiet, yet powerful expression of genuine love. These are the moments that often go unnoticed, when he chooses your needs over his own without needing praise or acknowledgement. He may not speak about it, and he may never call it a sacrifice, but you'll feel it in the way he moves through the world with you in mind. It could be something as small as letting you have the last bite of something he loves, or giving you his jacket when he's cold too. Maybe he drives a long distance just to spend a few hours with you, even if it means losing sleep. Maybe he gives up a night out with friends to stay by your side when you're not feeling well. These quiet decisions speak volumes. They show that your comfort, safety, and happiness mean more to him than convenience or ease. He notices when you're tired, when you're stressed, or when you just need someone to show up. And he does, even if it costs him time, rest, or personal space. He doesn't do it to look good. He does it because love makes him want to give, protect, and support. He values your peace of mind so much that he's willing to stretch himself just to make your world a little lighter. These sacrifices might be small in the moment, but they build trust and emotional safety. They show you that you're not alone, that someone is willing to carry part of your load without being asked. When a man consistently puts your comfort before his own, even in the smallest ways, he's loving you with action, not just words. And that's the kind of love that lasts. 13. He randomly touches your hand or shoulder. When a man randomly touches your hand or shoulder, it's a quiet and meaningful way of showing love without needing to say a single word. These gentle touches are not about attraction alone. They're about connection, reassurance, and presence. They come naturally, not forced or planned, because his body responds to how he feels around you. It might happen when you're laughing together and he lightly brushes your arm, or when you're walking side by side and he reaches out to hold your hand without saying anything. Sometimes it's a simple squeeze of your shoulder when you're feeling low, or a soft touch on your back as you move through a crowd. These moments may seem small, but they carry warmth, protection, and care. Touch is one of the most instinctive forms of affection. When he reaches out for you randomly, it's often because he wants to feel closer, to let you know he's there, or just to remind himself you're real and with him. It's a way of staying connected without needing conversation. In that single gesture, he's saying, "I see you, I'm here, you matter." These touches aren't demanding. They're respectful, calm, and full of emotion. And the fact that he doesn't even think twice before doing it shows that it's coming straight from the heart. When a man randomly touches your hand or shoulder, it's his silent way of staying close, physically and emotionally, and of reminding you that love doesn't always need to be spoken. Sometimes it's just felt. 14. He shows up when it really matters. When a man shows up when it really matters, it's one of the most powerful silent ways he expresses his love. In everyday life, many people are present during fun, easy, or convenient moments, but the ones who truly care are the ones who stand beside you when it's hard, messy, or uncertain. He doesn't wait to be asked, he doesn't make excuses, and he doesn't disappear when things get tough. He's simply there, and that presence speaks louder than 1,000 words. It could be during a moment of emotional breakdown, a family emergency, a stressful day, or an important milestone in your life. Even if he's busy or far away, he'll find a way to be by your side, in person, with a call, or simply through his unwavering support. He doesn't need a spotlight or recognition. He just shows up because he knows that's when it counts the most. His presence brings calm. It shows you that you're not alone, that someone is willing to walk through the fire with you, not just watch from a distance. Even when he doesn't know exactly what to say or do, he's there, holding your hand, sitting quietly, standing strong beside you. That reliability, that quiet consistency is love in action. When a man makes it a point to be there for you during your most vulnerable, important, or defining moments, it means your life matters deeply to him. It means your struggles are his concern, and your happiness is his investment. Showing up might seem like a simple act, but when it's done with love, loyalty, and no conditions, it becomes everything. 15. He gets nervous when you're upset. When a man gets nervous when you're upset, it's a raw and revealing sign that he truly loves you. He may not always know what to say or how to fix the situation, but the fact that your pain unsettles him shows how deeply he cares. Your emotions affect him not because he's uncomfortable with feelings, but because seeing you hurt makes him feel helpless. And that's not something he takes lightly. You might notice how his tone changes when you're sad, or how he starts pacing, fidgeting, or overthinking what to do next. He may ask the same question more than once. Are you okay? Or did I do something wrong? Not because he's unsure of you, but because he's desperate to understand and make things right. Your silence may make him anxious. Your tears may shake him. Not because he doubts the relationship, but because your pain becomes his. This kind of nervousness isn't fear of blame. It's fear of losing the emotional connection he values so much. When someone you love is upset and you can't instantly soothe them, it creates a deep emotional tension. That's what you see when he gets uneasy. It's his love showing up in real time, trying to find a way to protect your heart. He might stumble over his words, bring you small comforts, or try to lighten the mood. He may not always get it right, but everything he does in that moment comes from love. When a man gets nervous when you're upset, it means your feelings live inside his heart too. And even if he doesn't have the perfect response, the fact that it unsettles him proves that your happiness truly matters to him, deeply, honestly, and silently.